guys, and welcome back to Cheap and Green. Today we are visiting my very favorite thrift store, Pass It On, here in St. Mary's. So I'm here with Carey from Pass It On, and she's going to give me a tour of her amazing store.
When you come into the store, even though I change stuff around, so this week, I always have a good selection of mixed stuff. So I'll have clothing, and I will have shoes, so anything from vintage to boots. They're normally all $5 and under. Sometimes I have dollar or half price days, so those are good. So great prices on ladies' shoes. I also have little mixed gatherings of furniture and home decor. So I like to mix stuff up, and I have a great selection of art on the wall, and lots of special earrings and necklaces. This is sort of a collage of everything, so it's a little Christmassy in here right now. But I love to show off all my vintage hats. I always have sunglasses in because you need them in the summer and winter, right? And yeah, sunglasses and wallets, just about everything you can think of. I even have some stockings, vintage stockings and regular stockings. I get a lot of women that I meet through conferences and other connections. So this one, I call it my exotic earrings line. It's a lovely lady. She wholesales, and she heard about what I do and my store. So she calls me up, and I take a trip to Toronto, and she fills my truck with brand new jewelry that either is at the end of its life or didn't sell or broken bags, and she fills up my truck. I also carry nose pins. This is my lovely fluffy girl that everybody loves, and she's a Judy, and I just take scarves, and some are lovely silk scarves, polyester, every era, and she gets, when she gets full, she gets nice and fluffy, and everybody comments on her, and they love her, and I think she's kind of fun. So that's my my scarf girl.
So you don't focus on only vintage. You have some new and some pretty recent. Like I can see some Tommy jeans here, which these are nice.
Yeah. I have Jag jeans. I have Tommy jeans. I have Aeropostale and all kinds of great jeans. And they're always $10. Different sizes, anywhere from 24 to like 42 inch. So I do carry like the curvy, delicious girl clothing line. I have a small section of plus. There's not a lot, but I'm starting to build it. People are getting to know that they can donate it and they can buy it here. So sometimes I'll get bags of it in, and it doesn't last long because it's the same price point as all my price points over my regular clothing. So tops are $5. You know, so it's a great deal.
Yeah, like this one.
Yeah,
which I got here, which is Calvin Klein.
Yeah.
And I got the purple one too, because why wouldn't I get the purple one and the red one?
Yeah.
So great. I know. I love this stuff. I know.
I know. Yeah. So it's in the back too.
Yeah.
And I get bow ties, and I love the vintage and retro and the 80s and all different kinds of earrings. Like this is my largest earring display case, and it's anything from like 1930s clips all the way up to brand new earrings, right? So every year, if you're doing a costume or looking for something for every generation, little girls love to come in and get clips, and to grandmas, and then of course 20-year-old smart fashionistas come in here too as well.
There's some fabulous stuff.
Behind my cash, as you know, is very important. It's where customers talk and greet, and you cash out. So I decided a little while ago to put my sort of mission statement and everything I do sort of in one section. And so this is kind of my focal point wall. It looks kind of crazy, but it kind of explains. People come in and they don't really know, like, is this a boutique? They don't understand it's a thrift store. And so my mission was sort of, I wanted to sort of encapsulate it into, it's a boutique eco-friendly thrift store. Full of pre-loved donated items, and proceeds support eco and youth programs in St. Mary's and around the globe. And I think that sort of, states.
So that's basically your mission statement, right?
It is. It's my mission statement, and, I post, like, do you have your frequent shopper card? So that people go, oh, okay, I get it. And then I sort of started, words or something, but I'm a visual person. So, I kind of do a little doodle, and on my cards you'll see, like, you donate your awesome things. I sell them for great prices, And this is sort of where the money goes back to.
Can you tell us a little bit more about like the bike program and the sports equipment program?
The sporting goods program was something new when I went down to the Dominican a couple of years ago. When I travel, I always love to get into the communities and see what's going on. So, as a lot of people know, baseball is like king in the Dominican, and all the boys play before school and after school and after dinner. So they're playing baseball, and they only go to school half a day. So they play ball all the time. And so I started thinking, well, we've got lots of donated equipment or used equipment that nobody wants in Canada anymore. And what got me was I saw kids playing in a field, and they had cardboard gloves. So they wrapped their hands in cardboard. Oh. Yeah, and so I go to smaller villages too, like not big cities, but I was like, wow. And when I was talking to a sports guy from the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame, Scott said that he's like, oh my God, that's really weird because Dominicans are usually infielders and they have really tender hands. And he goes, that's kind of weird. And I'm like, that makes sense. But then I'm like, oh my gosh, and am I going to ruin their chances for the big league if I give them gloves? But anyway, so now after years, I started donating, and people started bringing in balls and gloves by the hundreds.
Oh, it's amazing.
Baseball pants and jerseys, and even the mats, like first, second, and third bases.
Oh, the bases.
So,
that's great.
Yeah, and when I go down there, there's 3 villages that I go to. Santa Barbara de Samana, it's in Samana province, Las Corrales and Las Terranas, and those are the key areas that I focus on. I try and keep it condensed, because obviously I can't give baseball equipment to all the kids in the Dominican, but that's my sort of sweet spot. So every time I go, I take down a whole bunch of equipment, and usually WestJet and lovely carriers like that, I do it under humanitarian, and they don't charge me weight. But sometimes I do.
So nice.
So that's where my Change for Change jar comes in. And yeah, and every kid gets a baseball glove, and I have pictures of that on my Facebook page and on my website. So it's something I love doing.
Oh, that's
and they really think it's funny when I go and I'll play ball with them. And they really think it's funny when I hit the ball, because usually girls don't play ball down there, but they do have some softball teams that are girls, and so I'm hunting them down. They're very elusive, but I will find them. So I go down about 3 or 4 times a year, and I take these massive duffel bags. And it's awesome. Yeah, it's awesome. And I'm called the baseball lady now. They're like, hey, baseball lady, because they know me. They're like, ah. I'm like, yeah, I'll get you a glove. Don't worry.
So what happens with the bicycles?
So years ago, and I'm probably thinking 8 or 9 years ago, Bert and I went down to Cuba, my partner Bert, and we started seeing everybody like lined up on the street and public transit. So we started talking to people, and you'd see a few bikes, and then Bert and I got the idea when we came back. We're like, there's tons of bikes that people take to the landfill, to the scrapyard. So I'm like, hey, let's send a whole bunch of bikes to Cuba. So we started talking with a few different people. There's a large group, Hope for Haiti, that ships stuff all the time that we know of. We know it's a small community. So we're like, okay, we want to get together a big container of bikes. So we got a 40-foot container. Almost 500 bikes were collected in a record amount of time. And we put them in, and it's something we will never do again. Logistically, it was a nightmare, because we've never done anything like this before. They went to Holguin University in Cuba for the students to get back and forth to school. So after that, we work now with a larger place out of Toronto. So the bikes get collected in any condition. I picked up tires in Stratford, and I have the 2 bike shops show off my card and let people know if they want to donate a bike. So I'm always in Stratford picking up bikes, and London, and they can be in any condition. They get fixed. So wonderful volunteers fix them. A repair kit goes with each bike, and they get sent to places like Haiti, Cuba, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Africa. They have 20-foot containers going out, I think it's weekly. Really? And sometimes they're filled with school supplies and desks and medical equipment, but they always shove bikes in, because bikes are transportation. Bikes are a lifeline. Instead of walking to school for 2 hours, you can bike. We all know the stories. And on my website, I kind of touch on that, and it's so important.
And it's so smart that you include the repair kit too, because once they
Yeah.
get there, if it breaks,
Yeah.
they're stuck, right?
Yeah.
But at
Yeah.
least then they can be self-sufficient and repair their own transportation.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how did you get the idea to start this amazing, eco-friendly, globally helping thrift store?
Well, I've always been a thrift store person. I grew up in London, and I was kind of, you know, a little punk rocker girl, and we always went to thrift stores. The Salvation Army, the Goodwills, they were awesome, and I've always loved it. So that's nothing new. I was always a big thrifter, and when I lived in Toronto, near Kensington Market, there was this group of street kids, and they were being mentored by a couple adults to go around and pick up stuff that people don't want anymore. And then they had a little store, and it was a place where they could hang out and have coffee, and nothing matched, and it was really, really cool. So that sort of, you know, I put that in my brain and left it there for storage for one day. And then when I moved to St. Mary's, I was new to the community, so I started volunteering at the youth center. So the youth center was in the basement of this grungy old building under the police department, which is okay. And it had a couch that I didn't even want to sit on. And it had a pool table, which was cool, and a console TV. And I was just like, oh, it's so great. We can do better than this, right? The kids are happy, but I'm like, you know, we can do better. So I pitched the idea that I wanted to open up a thrift store, and the funds would go towards helping the youth center. Within my first week, I got a call to say that we're moving a house, and we have this $25,000 pool table that if you can get it moved in 2 days, you can have it for the youth center.
Wow.
So I was like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. So my store wasn't basically even open. And I'm phoning around in Seville Pool. I basically begged them. I'm like, I think I was crying on the phone. I said, you have to help me. You have to help me. And they did it. They did it.
Oh,
and I think it cost me like $500 or $600. So we're like, we don't do that anymore. So that was kind of like, that was the addictive part. And that's what started me on my journey to actually see this community actually is going to help me do this, and it's so cool. So word got out, and it's just from volunteering within the community. And people, I guess, believed in me, and it was sort of community focused. So it's like the old-fashioned thrift stores, right? Used to be and should be. They're big box now. They're big money, and I think they've missed that community link. And that's what sort of my store I want to be. Plus, it's fun. I have awesome pins and earrings. I have a good selection of shirts, and I always have my dollar rack. So stuff that sort of sits on the shelf for a bit gets put on the dollar rack. I have a lovely purse selection and skirts, and of course seasonally I have winter scarves. I do have a summer section too, so if people are going away, that comes out around Christmas time, and I'll have shorts and tanks and all kinds of stuff for those beach bunnies that are escaping Canada's cold weather. People start getting the itch to go away, and they'll come in looking for capris and shorts, and you can't find them in stores right now, right? So yeah, that's been really successful, bathing suits and stuff. My men's section started like a 4 foot long section, and it's grown. Oh, I also have lovely vintage linens too. That section's growing too. It's doing really well. So this is kind of a crazy room, and it's a transition. I'm going to do a big overhaul in January. I'm going to open up the space, and this whole full wall will be my men's section. It's going to be awesome. Right now it's just a clunker for books, and all my books are $1 each. I get some amazing books in, Tom Clancy, you know, all different kinds of books. So, and they're all $1 each, which I love. Everybody should read a book. And a book should be read many times, right? So this is my guy section. It's grown. I just got in a chunk of new samples of guys' clothing, and there's some amazing stuff in here, all with tags on it. It's all $20 and under. And so I have everything from backpacks to hats. Here's Woody. He's my wonderful mannequin. I got him in Toronto. I know he was the only one for a reason, because he doesn't dress very well. It's a struggle. So he's really handsome, but I don't like to take his clothes off because he's really difficult. And yeah, jeans, suits. I even have a tuxedo that came in the other day, so that's cool. Belts and ties. So My guys section is growing and it's doing really well. So men out there, if you want to donate your clothing, please let it go. It's okay. You will live. Pass it on to somebody, because I get a lot of action in this room. Guys are always looking for, they're starting to be big thrifters too as well. I'm slightly addicted to lamps. As you can see, I have a problem. They're so expensive in stores new, right?
They
Even
are.
a lampshade. I look at it and I go, oh my God.
Yeah, you can spend, you can spend anything on a lampshade. They're like
yeah.
wedding gowns.
Yeah,
you could
yeah.
spend thousands of dollars on
Yeah,
lampshades.
so
It's crazy.
$20 for a really cool lamp is like nothing. So a lot of my lamps start at like $10, $15. And I get really awesome contemporary ones and teak and
amazing.
yeah. So anything for any decor, and lamps are really fun. I like them.
Yeah,
The
we've
weirder
got
the better. And industrial too. A lot of people are wanting that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I know. I was like, well, look at that. That's an amazing mid-century modern one for $20. That's a great price. Tell me about the people that donate and the donations that you get. You must have great stories.
I should write a book. I think I'm going to write a book, because some of the donations are really interesting. So I get people donating locally, and I get people that drive in from London and Stratford and Grand Bend. There's people that love this store in Grand Bend, so they always bring their delicious donations in from Grand Bend. And I get some pretty high-end stuff. I got a Linda Lundstrom coat the other day. It's like in mint condition.
I saw that. I'm going to go and look at that really soon.
Yeah, so I get some lovely things. I have a beautiful Chanel top. I have a fashion blogger following me, and I think she kind of digs the store, so she has that St. Mary's connection, and whenever she comes back into town, she leaves a bag of goodies with her parents. So that's really cool. So it's usually tiny stuff, but I get in amazing donations, and they come from all over. In the summer, I get my Toronto lovely ladies that bring in stuff on their way to Bayfield, to the cottage, and they always come in and stop and bring off goodies. I used to have this lady that would individually wrap everything and put a note with everything. So it felt like I was Christmas morning. I know. She was from London, and she would wrap everything and say, I got this in 1962 on my trip to Spain. And I would open it up, and it'd be this amazing treasure. So I miss that. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
And yeah, so sometimes I've opened up boxes and had some surprises. Sometimes I've had to call the police.
Oh my gosh!
Sometimes I would get photos, family photos. So always check stuff before you donate it. Make sure that you don't have indiscriminate pictures that you don't want to share. I don't keep those, but yeah, sometimes I'll open up a box and there'll be dentures and
yikes.
So I always try and find a place for everything and everything in its place, and that if I can't use it, then or resell it. And
Right.
It gets donated. So a lot of people might ask, well, what do you do with the stuff that isn't good enough for your store or that you don't sell? So if I get in blankets and sheets and stuff that maybe have a little stain or maybe are ripped, I call the local animal society. So there's a group of people that rescue dogs from puppy mills, and they're based out of St. Mary's. So I give my friends a call and say I've got a whole bunch of blankets, and so that is sort of not that I want bags and bags of blankets that are not usable. If people call me, I can always give them a connection. I don't want to be that sort of person because I don't have the space, but a lot of times people will just be emptying out a house, and I do that too as well, right? I'll go to a house and I'll say, okay, I'll take this, this, and this. This you can call this place. This you can call House of Blessing. They'll take that, appliances and stuff. So I'm sort of a resource for people that are just overwhelmed, have to clean out mom and dad's house, or they've gone to a nursing home. And that's a big job.
That's such a hard time, too.
It is a hard time.
Yeah,
so I'll come in and I offer that service too, where I'll come in and pack up the stuff I want to take and that I know that will sell, and then I can let you know. Or sometimes, usually, I'll take it to the place that I know needs it.
Right.
So I do offer that service that a lot of people don't know.
Oh, that's really nice.
This is something I've wanted to do for a while. It's called Under the Carport, and it's a work in progress. So come on, let's go outside. This is going to be a new feature of the store, and in spring we're going to really launch it off well. So anything rusty, old garden, wood. I'm going to have old lumber, old windows, old doors, old trunks.
Look at that trunk. It's beautiful.
Yes. Flowers. In the spring, I'm going to have perennials and annuals. I just had these historic windows dropped off from a lovely historic house that's getting new windows. And these are gorgeous. So,
look at the price. I mean, look at how beautiful that is. And look at the price.
Yeah. So, yeah, you can cut down your own curly willow. And it's going to be fun. I'm going to have water feature and all kinds of stuff. Twinkle lights. And, yeah, I think I might have a garden party when I launch it for real in the spring. So, when I get my flowers. That would be fun, right?
It would be totally
wine.
fun.
Yeah.
Wine, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, as you can see, too, I also have a trailer. So, I do offer pickup and delivery. My change room section, I'm so proud of. I hate little change rooms. Don't you hate little change rooms that you can't even
try anything on, and there's no room for all your stuff, and it's all crowded, and things are falling on the floor.
I hate it.
That,
So I went to Habitat Restore and got these amazing doors, and I made super duper, like you can get a baby stroller in here, which is nice. So I made these old doors. I was trying to repurpose as much as I can, and the old tin ceiling I kept from this building, painted up funky. And so I have 3 large change rooms that I'd be happy changing in. Do you like using them?
I do, yeah, I really like them.
A lot of people can't think, like, oh, I love these vintage buttons.
But
And I'm like, what do I do with them? Yeah, and they shouldn't be in a drawer. They should be displayed. If you love them, you should look at them all the time. And hankies and sweaters, like all the things you can do with your favorite sweater. Cut it up and sew it or, whatever.
Yeah, amazing.
So, brooches, anything.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to showcase that. Not just sell the items, but give people ideas. I'm going to turn the tables and I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
How did you find out about Pass It On? And why do you like coming here?
How did I find out about Pass It On? I think from Kelly at Martingale.
Oh, really?
In Stratford. Yeah, we were there, and she was talking about the other thrift store people that she knows. And, so we made the trip, and now we try and come, like, often, because there's always something new.
Yeah.
And the store's got a great feel. Like, it feels really good to be in here. Everything's really clean. Everything's very beautifully displayed.
Don't look too close. I hate dusting. Ugh.
But it's nice, and there's bustle, but it's not, like, intense.
Yeah.
Because, sometimes you go to, like, the 50% off days at Goodwill are insane.
Yeah.
It's so crowded and so busy.
Ugh.
And it's almost not even worth it. Like, I'd rather go the day before and pay full price than do that crush. So here there's, and the people are nice and so
we're nice.
Yeah. There's always something really good, and you don't have to worry so much about is the zipper broken or all the buttons there and whatever. And I found all my favorite things have been from here.
Yeah.
Those boots you sold me, a week ago? Those black boots? I love those boots. They're my favorite boots now.
Good. They're your dog walking boots, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I love them.
So
but actually they're too
important.
nice.
Yeah.
So now they're like shopping boots because they're kind of too nice for dog walking. But and great sweater. I found that navy blue Land's End cable net sweater, which I'm sure new would have been well over $100 from Land's End. For sure, right? Perfect condition. I totally love it. $5. Why would I not want to do that, right?
Oh, my prices are so good.
I know, it's amazing, right? And this stuff, I'm looking. It's hard to concentrate.
I know you are.
Look at how pretty this is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm going home with some vintage brooches today. That is happening.
Thank you
for spending your Sunday morning with me. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you and all the things you do.
You've done so much for this community, and this is such an amazing store. I'll be back.
I hope so. You're always welcome to come back to St. Mary's. We have free parking, as you know.
I do know that.
And that's my favorite hashtag, free parking. And and you can come and spend the day here and come and see me, and I'll get you hooked up.
All right, that's great.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching Cheap and Green, and I hope to see you next time. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram.